Now I do know why, and I'm eager and willing to share it with you. Are you ready to proceed with me on this journey? I would like to share a personal story with you about perception and attitude. And believe me, had I not had the training in personal growth that I have today and have gotten during the years, you would have heard a totally different story. One day we had visitors in our pretty recently bought house who were having dinner upstairs in our kitchen in this house which you see here to the left in the picture. My mom later moved into the house to the right, which was built a couple of years later. I was telling my friends about the events on my hectic day. I had gotten a hefty invoice from the car repair, since they had not only fixed the windshield, they had also found a fault in the ventilation system in the fans, and when they were at it, they had also exchanged the tire brakes, but on the wrong side of the car, so they would have to redo the other side as well. Further away, on my way to the car repair, I had jumped into the cab and had forgotten my attaché portfolio with my wallet and my cellular phone on the street. Anyway, as the dinner proceeded, I realized that we need another bottle of juice, and I go down to the basement to fetch it. Then I hear a drip-drop kind of sound from the guest room. I go in and I can see that there is a leaking pipe, which through the very pipe, not in the couplers, but in the actual plastic-coated copper pipe itself, there is a small beam coming out. The house was only 10 years old, and one would not expect the pipes to start leak already. It belongs to the story that this was not the first time the pipes had gone berserk in this peculiar way. We had recently had to rip up the ceilings in the laundry and the WC. Furthermore, we had had a previous small leak in the same guest room, and at this time they had just fixed this part of the copper pipe where they were drying it up and would just replace a small part of the wallpaper. Gracefully, I had a small part of the wallpaper left from the previous owner, so it was only a small renovation. We had done so many other adjustments to the house, so we were not really up to remodeling the guest room too. Anyway, this evening, this new leak was just a small beam, and it had targeted precisely the leftover piece of wallpaper that I had left for the renovation of the previous leak. I had no more. So the result of all this was that we would have to remodel this entire room instead of just replacing a piece of wallpaper. I go up to the kitchen and I calmly tell my husband that we have a leak in the basement and that I will just excuse myself to make a phone call to the emergency plumber. Having done that, I return to the kitchen and we continue our conversation with our good friends where I had left it a couple of minutes earlier. They were totally amazed that we could be so very calm in spite of all what had happened. But face it, how productive would it have been to swim around in the horrors of the day and the evening? Gracefully, someone had found my attaché portfolio and turned it in to the nearest dealer, where I could pick it up later. The car repair shop, they acknowledged that they had been at fault, and they gave us a much reduced price even if the entire invoice was still big. And we got to enjoy good new brakes on all sides of the car. The emergency plumber that came this very evening, they were swift and discreet, and they did hardly disturb our dinner at all. And the insurance covered basically all costs. And we got ourselves a beautiful new guest room. We could design it to our like, with our type of wallpaper and a nice warm wooden floor.